clean slate coming in, but on your season, you were one of the worst Islanders I have seen.
How many finals did you make?
Oh.
How many shows have I been on? Would they ever ask you?
Irrelevant.
You were that far up Joey's arse, you were naming his organs after candy, so...
I remember Ty saying that he's not keen to do Love Island All-Stars because they're going to bring in the likes of Helena. And sadly, they've proved him right. I'm happy he ended up going to Love Island Games because there was a better cast. This cast, there's nothing stand out about them, in my opinion. There really is nothing stand out about them. Yes, I love the messy sort of twist to it where we had Scottisha come back, but at the end of the day, that's it. I really feel sorry for Shaq because I think these girls are going to refuse to couple up with him. It seems Belle is interested in him, so hopefully that works, but none of the other people stand out. I don't know why Tommy is back. He was barely relevant on his season, so it doesn't make sense. Shawn was only relevant once he sort of attached himself to Joey Essex. So the idea that somebody felt it was a genius idea to bring him back, I don't get it. I really don't get it, and I'm so confused, and I'm happy that Scottisha called him out. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Games, Season 3, Episode 1. Sorry about my late upload. Life has been lifing, but hey, here we are. Anyway, we start off with, Maya Jama walking into the villa. The villa's empty, and it's sort of like an introduction, a setup of what is about to happen. We then have two first Islanders walk in. We have Whitney and Jess. Yes, they are from the same season, and I think after seeing Catherine on last season, the two of them have decided to come in. Why Whitney has come back, I do not get it because of how badly Catherine was treated last season. She was more or less a background, a sort of actress in that whole thing. So the idea that Whitney is going to get more attention, maybe it's going to be different. Anyway, Whitney and Jess are from the same season. Whitney is 28 years old. She was on season 10. She was in a relationship because she left in a relationship with Loken, and then things just fell apart and there were accusations. He said, she said, and then they broke up. And I think she's coming back to try and sort of reinvent herself. She said she's a bit more mature, but she's going to be real as usual. I'm just like, I don't think this was a good idea. Jess is 25. She was the winner for season 10. I don't get how she won because she didn't stand out. I think she's come in just because Sammy was in last season, so she's decided to come in. She says she's mainly after a pretty boy who's tanned with good teeth. Will she find him? I do not know. I really don't know. Next up, we have Charlie and Tommy come in. I do not know who Charlie is. Neither do I care as to why Tommy is back. Anyway, Charlie was in season 4. He's 31 years old, which is good. I love when they bring more mature guys, and hopefully they behave differently. He said, his relationship didn't last in the villa, actually, not his relationship. And he was in a relationship for 4 years, and now he's single. Hopefully he finds this person in the villa. Do I think so? Maybe. Anyway, Tommy is from season 12, so he's from last season. He's 22 years old. Why he's back doesn't make sense because most of the girls are 26 and above. So the reason why they brought him back, I do not get. He then reveals that he DM'd Jess, and they were chatting, and he is quick to catch feelings, and he's trying to slow that down this season. Do I think that's going to happen? No. And then, surprise, surprise, we have Kieran walk in. He walked in with Belle. And I'm surprised that Kieran is back, but then he was on, he's been single for a while. They were split up with Nicole outside of whoever is dated, and we haven't found out about. He's now 23 years old. He said he's looking for a pretty face. I loved Kieran on his season. I love the fact that he was able to stand out for people that he felt were sort of being targeted. I didn't like his gameplay in regards to his relationship. I feel like him and Nicole thought they could win if they coupled up and stayed a couple. And so the idea that they didn't win, I think, is something that has sort of motivated him to come back. Belle is 27. She was on season 5, and she says her best feature is her boobs. I don't know. I really don't know. There's nothing sort of eye-catching, and sadly I started watching in season 8, so most of these people that are season 7 and below, I don't know who they are. And then, oh my god, she's back. Helena is back. She's still 29. She was from season 12 with Tommy, and she says she hasn't dated since she left the villa. She likes a bad boy, and she wants a bad boy. Helena doesn't want a bad boy or like a bad boy. She likes what other people have. So whoever she thinks is the most popular girl, she's going to chase their guy because that's who she is. And that's what she did in the season with Shakira. She chased after that man, even though that man wasn't interested in her. So I'm not surprised, and I don't think she's going to change anyway. And then Jack 26. I don't get why Jack is back. I really don't. He was a bombshell in season 8. He was a Casa boy actually in season 8. He is Ronan Keating's son, if I'm not mistaken. He says, after he left the villa, he found out he was having a baby, so he's got a baby. And he's hoping that this time things are going to be different. Do I think they're going to be different? No, I really don't. While they're having a chat, we find out that, Kieran and Tommy were DMing Jess. And it's like, what stands out about Jess? I don't get it. I really don't. Are we trying to make her the popular girl again? Are we trying to give her the Ekansu edit? She's not Ekansu and she'll never be. So the idea that we think she's going to stand out, hey, it is what it is. We have Leanne and Shawn coming together. Do I think they're a great couple? No. Leanne apparently is 28. She's from season 6. She left the villa single and she's been single for a year. So she's hoping to find a person. I don't know who she is, so I have nothing to say. Shawn, I have no idea why he's come back outside of he was to revamp his character. He is 26 now. He was on season 11, and he says he was single for 2 years. He was single even in the villa. Matilda only coupled up with him because she didn't have any other options, not because she had any romantic feelings for him. I think he was a pity connection, and she knew that the only way she could stay in the villa was to couple up with him, and I think this is why she stayed in a couple with him. We have Millie and Shaq. They are the last two to come in. Millie is 29. She's from season 7. She was the winner. She dated Liam for 4 years and she's been single for 4 months. Do I know who she is? No, but I hope she finds her person in the villa. Shaq, I know because I already watched Shaq's season. Shaq is 27. He was on season 9. And he said, he got in trouble with Tanya because it really never came out as to exactly as to what happened between the two of them. I think there was a lot of hope that they would rekindle, but it seems Shaq coming into the villa is a sign to say that there's no going back and this is where they are, and so he has to sort of keep it stepping. He says, his girlfriend split up with him because he said somebody was beautiful. I don't think so. I think he needs to be more honest about that. Anyway, Maya Jama then leaves invites everybody around the fire pit. And at the fire pit, the girls then the boys stand at the fire pit. The girls are given an opportunity to pick two sashes. One is good, the other one is no good, and they put it on the guys. The one they think is good for them, they them a kiss. The one they think is no good, they just give them the red sash and leave them alone. First up was poor Millie. She was pushed by Whitney because Whitney said, "Oh, you might as well go up." And I think she didn't want to be a bad sport, so she stood up and went first. She kissed Charlie. She gave him a good sash, and she gave Kieran the no good because she said he's 23 years old, so he's too young for her. Whitney went up next. She kissed Tommy, and she said Jack was no good because his tattoos were incomplete. Helena went and kissed Shawn. I think she just thought he might be the most popular, the most safest option for her. She put her no good on Charlie because she said he called her a dolphin. Do I think so? I don't know. Jess went and kissed Tommy. She said he's handsome, and then she put, the no good on Shawn because she's Shawn. She said she's friends with Matilda, so there's no way she was going to go there. Bella went and kissed Kieran, and she gave Shawn her no good. And then Leanne went and kissed Shawn and gave Shaq her no good because she said she is friends with Tanya. I get it. I get it. Anyway, after that, you had Maya Jama say, the public is going to decide who they want to couple up, so she will come back in later on in the day. But in the meantime, she was going to leave them to have chats. I feel like production wanted to go and mess up the whole coupling thing and come up with whatever they thought was best for whoever. Anyway, you have the guys sit on their own, the girls sit on their own, and they're sort of catching up and having chats and thinking who is most likely to be their best partner. Do I think any one of them would make a great couple? No. I would have maybe Leanne and Shaq because Shaq is too quiet. Whitney would be too much for him. So it's sad that there's this friendship with Tanya. Anyway, So you then have the islanders pull each other for a chat. You have Millie go for a chat with Charlie because they really liked each other because she kissed him obviously. So I think they were just trying to suss that out to see whether there's a connection. Do I see it? Yeah, I can see them being a couple. I really can. I think it's just a matter of are they each other's type because this is what Love Island seems to rely on. Jess and Tommy were having a conversation, and Tommy was sort of calling her out and saying, "You pretended as though you don't know me, but we've been chatting for a while, so I don't get why you pretended like you don't know me and there's nothing going on between the two of us when you know that we have been chatting." Do I think that a couple? No, I think Jess will only couple up with Tommy if she has no other option, or if production wants to keep Tommy on the show with Jess, then they're going to stay a couple. And then you had this conversation between Shawn and Leanne. I didn't get it. Shawn is trying to go on his character revamp tour because people called him the R word during his season because of the way that he and Joey were going after Mimi and Josh. So the idea that he's now saying to Leanne, "You're my number one," I'm not buying it. I really am. Everybody else can buy it. I'm not buying it because I don't think that's his type. I think she's only going to be his type if he feels like he can't find anyone else. Helena and Jack didn't make sense to me. I'm sorry, they didn't make sense because in prior to that, she was in the kitchen speaking to Charlie and saying, "Oh, you called me a dolphin," blah 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 blah. That wasn't necessary. The only reason Helena might like Jack is because Jack is younger than her. That's the impression that I get. I think because he's younger than her, he might pick her interest because she seems to like younger guys. Shaq and Belle actually surprised me because I think they could make a cute couple because she seems very accommodating and you can see that he is excited about her. The fact that he sat down with her and had the conversation and she asked him, "Why did you break up with your ex?" And he said, "Well, we went to Miami and I had a lap dance and I thought it was something we could get over, but my ex didn't think it was something that we could get over." And it's like there must have been more to it, or Tanya must have been holding on to a lot of things and this was the final straw. So as much as he's a good guy, his mistake, sadly, he could not overcome that. The islanders then went into the villa, they got ready for the night, and then they all came out and were having chats. The conversation between, Tommy and, for me, Jess doesn't make sense. Outside of the fact that production is trying to give Tommy a good edit, they found out that they both some percent Italian, and so they both come from Sicily. That's not enough for them to have a romantic connection. I'm sorry. You had Helena having a chat with Shawn. She was flirting with Shawn. That is a wasted opportunity as well. I don't understand what Helena sees in this guy. I think she's just doing it because of the attention. She's waiting to see who is going to be popular with the girls and who amongst the girls she thinks that she can target the way she targeted, what's her name? Shakira from last season. And then she's going to go after them. I love that Belle and Shaq were having a conversation. She then opened up to him about her breakup. And Shaq on his part was saying, "I'm pleasantly surprised that we're having such in-depth conversations." I think they possess a level of maturity and emotional intelligence that other couples don't have. And I hope this time Shaq doesn't rush it and he actually takes his time. Anyway, Maya Jama immediately arrived and revealed that, it was time to couple up. So everybody stood at the pool, and then you had the girls on one side, the boys on one side, and Maya Jama sort of just called out who the public had voted to be coupled up. Do I think it was the public? No, no. I think it was producers. They were just being messy. Anyway, first up was Belle. She was coupled up with Shawn. We all know she's not feeling him, so I don't get why they were coupled up. Whitney was coupled up with Jack for reasons best known to them. Whitney said she's open. I think because of the struggles that she experienced during her season, she's not trying to be very optimistic that someone is going to pick her. Helena was coupled up with Charlie. This was just a messy coupling up. And then Jess was coupled up with Tom. I think they did that because that's the couple that they really wanted to couple up. Everybody else was just, a hit and miss, so I don't get it. Millie was coupled up with Kieran, and she had already said she doesn't want Kieran because he's too young for her. Anyway, we have Scottisha come out. When Scottisha comes out, it is us to be honest. And for me, in some aspect, I feel like Scott was able to redeem himself. I really do. Because Scott is asked, which couples do you think are not good for their partners? He called out Shaq and Leanne, and he said because of the friendship, it might be a bit difficult to overcome that. Shaq didn't take it personally. And then he went hard for Shawn and Belle because he said, "I can only see one, all-star in that couple." That's the truth, though. As much as I sort of went after him when he was trying to criticize or be hypercritical about Mimi during Mimi's season, I'm happy that he called him out, because he told him during your season you sucked up so much to Joey that it was really bad. And I love that you had the likes of Shaq saying to Whitney, Scott has been around you so many times that this is how he speaks. He's becoming messy and toxic. And so I love it. I can't wait to see what happens. Apparently, because Scott had called out Shaq and Shawn, they don't get to spend the night in the villa. And so they are, I don't know where they're going, whether they're going to the hideaway and then they're being coupled up with somebody else. We can get rid of Shawn. I don't want us to get rid of Shaq. I want Shaq. And I think Scott, on his part, felt bad for Shaq when he realized that Shaq was going to be vulnerable. Do I think he felt bad about Shawn? No. If he felt bad, then I don't feel bad on his behalf. Anyway, I can't wait to see what happens in the next episode. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from season 3. Bye, everyone.